This is the LG G5. I've been using a pre-production unit of LG's new flagship phone for the last 24 hours, and now I'm ready to tell my story. So let's jump right in with the industrial design. Compared to the G4, the G5 feels a lot more premium with an all-new metal body, but it's also lost a little bit of character. The optional leather backing on the G4 had some unique design flair, where the G5 just looks like another phone, albeit very polished and premium. Now, for some reason, LG sent me a pink version of the pre-production unit, but rest assured, the G5 also comes in silver, black, and gold. The metal surface has a satiny finish that feels just a little bit more grippy than Samsung's new GS7. Now that said, the G5 also feels a bit less substantial than the GS7, despite weighing 7 grams more. This is probably because the G5's weight is spread out over a greater surface area. LG finally moved its volume rocker to the side of its phone, but the power button remains in the back. Now that's perfectly okay with me because the power button integrates with a new fingerprint sensor that's accurate and super fast. It even feels faster than the fingerprint reader on my Nexus 6P. Like the G4, the G5 has a swappable battery, but now LG's swapping mechanism finally kicks some ass. So you turn your phone off, press a little button on the side, and then wiggle out the bottom of the chassis. It takes a little bit of effort, but the good news is that when you snap the battery back in, it connects with confidence. It's very snug, and it looks to be a big improvement over the old design where you had to pry off the G4's back panel. LG says the G5 made it through 2,000 drop and removability tests, so that's good news because half the time when I dropped the G4, its panel popped off. The G5's 5.3-inch display has a pixel density of an absolutely insane 554 pixels per inch. It looks gorgeous in full color, but I think the new always-on display is way too dim. Yeah, I do know that LG needs to minimize power consumption, but it's so dim to the point of being almost useless. There's no way to increase brightness either, and it's worth noting that Samsung's equivalent feature is much more legible. Maybe this is something LG will address in a final production unit. Now, while they're at it, LG might also consider bringing back the app drawer. Now, they explained that managing apps is getting too complicated, so they ditched the app drawer and added a new sorting function to the home screen. I personally think this is a bad decision, but at least you can get the app drawer back by selecting the Google Now launcher. Okay, let's talk about the camera. It's an area where LG adds instead of subtracts. The big news is that the G5 comes with a second rear camera for wide-angle shots. The standard lens captures 16 megapixel images in a 78-degree field of view, but when you're in the camera preview and pinch for a wider shot, the phone automatically switches to its 8 megapixel wide-angle camera, which can reach a field of view of 135 degrees. It's a nice feature, and I can see using it to get more people into group photos. LG also uses the two cameras in tandem for a new pop-out picture feature. It blends two photos together for a bunch of wild special effects, and I just can't see myself ever using this. So those are just my first impressions using a pre-production version of the G5 for just a very short time. I should be getting the final shipping phone in a few weeks, so stay tuned for the final verdict and official review.